All right, what's going on, Vaquero Nation? With DITV Sports here talking baseball. So I'm excited about this. Obviously, from me, I hadn't followed the baseball team last year, so I wanted to bring in a fan that we've been talking to and exchanging with on X, Marco. So thanks, Marco, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, you had mentioned that you have been a fan for a long time, so I wanted to see if you can introduce yourself and tell me why you're a fan of Vaquero Nation.
So again, my name is Marco. I grew up in the Valley in McAllen, Texas. Throughout my childhood, my dad would always take me to baseball games there at UTPA at the time, and to the old Jody Ramsey Stadium. That was a really cool place. A lot of brick layout. It looked really like baseball back in the day. So that's where my baseball experience started with UTPA. When they moved to the stadium here at Edinburgh, again, we just kept it going throughout my time in high school. When I was in college there, I kept going to games. Um, I moved away after college. I had to come back to the Valley. It's again place where my family is. It's home for me, and again, just got right back into UTRGV baseball.
What was the environment like with UTPA? Was it crazy or is it like what it is now? Like what was baseball like back then?
So at the in my younger years when I was going to UTPA, it was pretty crazy. The team was competing a lot for like conference championships, going to conference tournaments.
Really?
I remember the crowds were pretty big when I went. I mean, it could also just be uh, looking back. I was a kid. Maybe they were. It was real big. It was real big to me back then. But I remember it being a loud environment. I remember it having a lot of fun, and just the fans there just always having a lot of fun at the games.
You said they went to regional final. What's the farthest that they went back when it was the Broncos back in the day?
So I don't remember the exact year, but I know the UTPA baseball team has made it to the College World Series before.
What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I believe it was in the '60s. I believe that's when they made it out there. They haven't been to a regional postseason tournament, and I believe since the '70s.
Cool. So last year was a big deal.
Yes, yeah.
How
Last
close
year,
we were, right?
after so many years of not being in the conversation, being able to sit down on Selection Sunday, put the TV on, and see the UTRGV team on TV they're watching. I mean, it was great to be in the conversation and have that opportunity to get back into a postseason regional.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier you got season tickets. Where are your season tickets at?
So my season tickets are right next to the visitors dugout, first row, kind of where the on deck circle is for the visiting team.
Okay.
Um, one of the reasons I like sitting there, I like meeting the visiting fans that come in. It's it's fun to meet people from all over the country and just talk baseball, talk what's going on in their part of the country and how their team's doing.
Are you a scorecard guy? Do you like keep track of the score and do the book? Or are you just a watcher? What do you enjoy most about game day?
I used to be a scorebook guy. I used to keep track of every little thing. Um, Nowadays, I just like to sit, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the game, just watch the players, and just kind of be in the moment when I'm there.
I'm a beer guy, so last time I went, I bought one of the beers at the regular concession stand, but I noticed that the beers that the guy is walking around selling are cheaper. It's like $8
Oh,
for a
okay.
tall boy. I didn't know that. So now I know my strategy is I can go with the tall boys for $8. It's a little bit better deal for me. So I'm learning, right? So that was my first one at the alumni game, and then I'll be there Friday and hopefully Saturday. So yeah, let's get into it if you don't mind. I wanted to talk about last year, right? I know it was a great year, kind of a program changing year for us. What was the I believe in this team moment for you last year?
So I remember this moment really vividly in my head. I was I was a substitute teacher at the time, and I was on one of my breaks checking out the scores for when UTRGV was playing Dallas Baptist, and
Mhm.
I opened the score up, took a look, and it took me a second to believe it. That UTRGV was up by so much, and that was the first turning point, but then that following weekend where they swept Lamar was kind of where it just solidified it for me. Like, oh, like this team, it could be something special this year.
Last year, obviously, they made that nice little run with it. What were the bigger like impact players to you from last year's team that you remember, and who do you think is going to be the impact players this year?
So last year, some of the biggest players that I felt contributed a lot. Armani Ragosa, obviously. I mean, the Southland Player of the Year. Him and Easton Mumau hitting together, playing the field together. That was a duo that really brought a lot of energy to the field. And then behind the plate last year, we had Steven Lancia, and just
Mm.
that leadership and guidance of all the players throughout the field, just being able to provide defensively and offensively. I think it's important in baseball to have that captain on the field who can lead a team like he did last year.
Yeah, I did some research myself because obviously I said him stringer, but defensively we're really good, top 20 in the country defensively. And is this right? Armani and Easton went to the same high school. Does that sound right?
Yes, I remember seeing that when I was looking at the rosters that they were at the same they went to the same high school. I believe Armani was is a year older.
Okay.
I remember telling my wife when I saw that, oh, he must have helped recruit Easton over here to UTRGV. Um, but again, that duo that they brought in there was something else that really brought a spark to the lineup.
Yeah, that must have been a pretty good high school team if you think about it, because Armani batted 384 last year with 17 homers, and then Easton batted 332 with 49 RBIs. Because you imagine that high school team and the pitcher coming up to see those guys and have to run with that. But getting back to defensively, I know that you mentioned a couple of different names, and I did see that we have some other defenders, all SEC. Thomas Williams. Looks like he's from California, which is kind of where I'm from. Do you remember anything from last year on Thomas Williams that stuck out?
So Thomas Williams, I remember again just overall our defense was really good last year. We had
Yeah.
Thomas Williams, we had Damian Whitfield in the outfield. I mean,
Hmm.
it's I know last year we were moving around Armani in several positions. I think we finally settled on first base, but Thomas also, I remember he had a few clutch hits, some timely bunts, getting runners over, doing things for the team, sacrificing yourself, get the runner over, get the run in. I think as a whole last year, the offense was really reliant on next man up. You set the
Hmm.
table, do your job, get this runner in, and let's keep the train going.
Yeah, that's. I heard an interview with Coach Matlock, right? He talked a little bit about that, and I like that guy, man. I've heard a couple interviews with him. He seems like a down to earth, old school baseball guy, right? That we can have some fun with. So you never know, maybe if he's listening, if you ever want to jump on Coach Matlock, we'll definitely have you. But yeah, I've seen that a couple times. So a question I have next is, what was the loudest moment at the ballpark last year for you as a fan?
So I don't have a specific moment, but I remember several times throughout the year where we had some really clutch hits, really clutch home runs. Um, Throughout the season, I believe we broke two or three attendance records last season,
Yeah,
and all those games. I mean, the crowd was into it. When the crowd gets going down here, it's a tough place to play for the opposing team, and
nice.
um, behind the visitors' dugout, we have a group of guys that like to heckle the opposing team.
Yeah.
And one thing you'll see when you go to the games, the whole stadium kind of gets into it.
Hmm.
So when it gets going, I mean, the stadium can get loud when there's a really big home run. The crowd really gets into their baseball here, and like I said, I don't have a specific moment, but whenever we had those huge crowds, whenever we had those big teams coming in, everyone was able to come out and support, and give us that home field advantage.
Yeah, the picture in the background, is that a typical game? Is that what I need to get used to? Is that like a regular weekend game? What should the fans expect that haven't gone out like me? I haven't been. I went to the alumni game, right? And I think there was 1,300 people, and I thought that was
Mhm.
kind of cool. That looks to be sold out. Is that a typical weekend game that you see as a fan, or is that not? Tell me about that.
So 1,500 people would be a pretty low attendance at a game day, I would say.
Okay.
Um, so I'm not sure what game this picture is from, but um, one thing that UTRGV has done really well the last couple years is um, promotions and various theme nights that bring in these kinds of crowds. So if I remember correctly, I believe we were top 10, top 25 in like midweek crowds, like Tuesday
Yeah,
nights,
way up
Wednesday
there.
nights, like in the country. And again, it was again the Valley loves baseball, but when you're providing all these fun opportunities and events and themes for fans, they'll bring the whole family. And this is what you would kind of I would expect to see this year. I mean, this kind of crowd, especially Friday nights, midweeks, Sundays, it just depends. You know, it gets kind of hot down here for those 12,
Yeah.
1 o'clock games. But I would expect to see a lot of crowds looking like this year.
Yeah, I think Coach Matlock was on another interview too. He said there's some people in the conference that draw like 100 people at their games, right? And to see what we draw on a midweek on a Tuesday, the environment that the Vaqueros come out, it helps with recruiting because he has said
Oh,
that
yeah.
people want to come play in front of our crowd. And being myself, my family's from the Valley. Baseball's huge, man. Like in high school baseball, my uncle was a baseball player in Los Fresnos. It's a big deal if you're a baseball player. And we produced some good talent. We got some Valley players on the team. I know I wrote down a couple and was able to repost one. We got Julian and Julius Ramirez from FAR that went to JUCO and batted 405 last year. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I wanted to talk about the pitching staff. I know we didn't talk about that, but one guy, Victor Loa, is from where my family's from, Los Fresnos. What are your thoughts on Victor, and what do you think he does well?
So we got to see a little bit of Victor on at the alumni game.
Hmm.
It's always good to have a good lefty in your rotation. It gives the opposing team a different thing to look at. I mean, when you're just seeing right-handed pitchers all the time, I mean, it gets they get comfortable, and that's what we don't want. But again, with Victor Loa, he brings some good velocity, good changes of speed, able to throw strikes. I think the biggest thing, you know, I spoke with a while ago with a coach about this. Like, if if you can strike players out, I mean that's shortening the game for your defense. So,
Mm.
for example, let's say your pitching staff strikes out 12 batters that game. That's 4 innings where there weren't any variables. There weren't a chance for errors.
Mm.
So the game gets cut down. So then if you have a good defense like UTRGV had last year, and pitchers like Victor Loa being able to put the ball in play, strike guys out, then the game kind of condenses, and before you know it, the opposing team is running out of outs in the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning.
See, that's where I know that you know baseball, Marco, right? Because that makes sense to a guy that's not a huge baseball fanatic, right? But thank you for that information. We appreciate that. Looking at this year's schedule, what games are you circling, and what games are you looking forward to get out to that you see on the schedule?
So just this first stretch of games are going to be very
Hmm.
important to see where we are. We've got Kansas, Texas Tech coming in, Houston, and then going to Texas for one in a midweek game. And I think being able to play Big 12 and SEC competition really gives us a chance to see where our pitching staff is, where our hitters are in comparison to those pitchers in the Power Four conferences, and I think coming back into Southland Conference play after that trip, I mean, I think we'll have a good idea of what our team is, but again, you still got to produce and get done what you need to get done when you're playing in conference.
Yeah, I exchanged with the Southeastern fan base in baseball, and they were coming at us a little bit, right? And I put it out there as like whoever wins the series, the other person that lost has to wear the jersey or shirt of the other team. So I got a little skin in the game when it comes to Southeastern to do it. So I'm looking forward to that game, and I think they come here, right? I think Southeastern comes here. I got to
I
double
believe
check.
so. I believe
Yeah, I
so. Yeah.
think they do. So I'll definitely be out to that on there. So, well, I wanted to say thank you, Marco, for coming on the show. If you don't mind, I would love to have you on after some series to analyze them because you seem like a really good baseball mind. I don't know if you played or maybe you coached. Did you do any of that?
I played my whole life in baseball all the way through high school. I did a little bit of coaching, like
Okay,
in middle school, but yeah, baseball's been my life as far as I can remember. So I would love to
cool.
come on and help break down series and the team as the season goes on.
Yeah, so as you can tell, I'll lean on you for that information, and I can just ask you questions. But I'd love to do like a Sunday afternoon after a three-game run, maybe, and then you can give me your view and your take on what happened. Maybe we can go live and get the fans into it. And if you have anybody else that talks baseball that you want to chop it up, and maybe I can just pass it to you guys so you guys can talk to each other because you guys know more than me. I would love to do that. What do you think?
That sounds like a lot of fun. I would enjoy that.
All right, cool. Vaquero Nation, thank you guys for coming in. DITV. We're looking forward to a big season for the guys and the players, the 956 boys, to make a run, and we're here for it. So, want to thank Marco and thank you guys for tuning in. V's up. Let's do it.